President Trump's endorsement really matters, and he's got a strong record of positive influence so far in the 2022 primaries. In fact, the vast majority of his endorsed primary candidates have won their races. Trump's record in the Senate, the House, and other statewide races is 100-6. Some notable Senate race examples include Herschel Walker in Georgia, J.D. Vance in Ohio, and Ted Budd in North Carolina. Even Trump's last-minute endorsements have done pretty well, like Pennsylvania's Republican gubernatorial nominee, Doug Mastriano. Trump announced his support there just 1 week before the election. Joining us now is David Bossie, president of Citizens United. Dave, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Good to be with you, Hogan.
Talk a little bit about, if you would, what it means to get that Trump endorsement, the power of it.
Well, clearly there are so many candidates that are pro the America First agenda, which really has just consumed the Republican Party. We have multiple candidates in many, many races across the country that are all America First, that are all for the Make America Great Again symbolism and priorities as far as a legislative agenda is concerned. So they're all pro-Trump. It's just that President Trump determines who he thinks, through a myriad of reasons, who he decides. And when he picks somebody, the power of that is exponential. You look at J.D. Vance. I like to use that as a perfect example. He was in fourth place a month before Election Day at 6% in the polls, had been at 6% for a long time, and rocketed to first place and got 33% on Election Day. Huge number in a very competitive four-way, race that had real candidates in it against him. And I got to tell you, that's a perfect example. We're seeing it all across the country.
Sure.
People want what President Trump stands for. They don't have President Trump right now, but they can support candidates who are going to go there and fight Joe Biden. Because what Joe Biden has done, Hogan, in the last 18 months is nothing less than disastrous for America.
Absolutely right. And you pointed to a couple of races, but what about Pennsylvania as well? I mean, Dr. Oz was like in third place, and then he catapulted to first place. Well, Cormac was going to walk in that race by all accounts. So it absolutely matters. Of course, the press always wants to point to the Trump candidates who lose, but regardless of his endorsements and the win-loss record, which of course is impressive, you pointed to something I think is vital here, Dave, and that is the America First agenda is undefeated. Everybody's running on it. Everybody's trying to claim that mantle, regardless of whether or not they get his endorsement. So why do you think that's so important for these folks running for office?
Because that's where the base is. The Republican primary voter is 100% ground in the America First agenda. People who want energy independence, they don't want, I mean, I'm in California right now. There's $8, almost $9 a gallon gasoline down the street. I don't know how Californians aren't going just insane. Right. But I got to tell you, if you look at the food problems, our baby formula shortages, you look at inflation across the board affecting every American every single day. You look at every crisis, whether it's crime or open borders, drugs, human trafficking, our foreign policies, disasters in Afghanistan, Ukraine, feckless leadership. People are sick and tired of Joe Biden and the leftist, not just Democrats, this hardcore leftist agenda, this legislative agenda, and they want it rejected. And this November, with President Trump's help, is going to be soundly thrown out.
Yeah, and I would argue too, Dave, it's not just the base that are clamoring for that America First agenda, that Make America Great Again mantra. It's a lot of independents too, who now realize that those policies that were in place actually improve their lives. And what the left has to offer, I don't think a vast majority of the Americans, quite frankly, want at this point in time. So, Dave, really appreciate your time. Thanks so much for the analysis tonight. Always dead on.
Thanks for having me, Hogan.